Alright, so we are doing a quick tutorial on the Soccer Star Stadium digital backdrop, and let's get right into it. So we open up Photoshop, and as you can see here, I've basically already unzipped all the files. I imported all of the files into Photoshop. That way it's super quick and easy to follow along. The bottommost layer is the backdrop itself, the main image. And above it you can see all the flares, the smoke, the swooshes, and also a fully transparent soccer ball that we will be using here in a moment. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll go ahead and import one of the athletes. Now I already have an athlete cut out. I keep a bunch of athletes and stuff like that here in my libraries that you can't necessarily see, but I'll just bring them right in. And then I'll resize him to fit what I think is probably a good, I don't know, something good. Well, I'll make it actually just a little bit bigger just for fun. Alright, so now that the athlete is here, he's brought in from the libraries. I'm just going to go ahead and rasterize this layer just to makes it smaller and a little bit easier to use. You don't have to do that, but what I'll do first here is I'm going to add a shadow below him, kind of give him a little bit of that dynamic feel. So I'll duplicate that layer. Now on the bottom layer, what I'm going to do is add an adjustment layer for hue saturation. And before I actually make any of these changes, I want to create a clipping mask. That way these adjustments will strictly apply only to the bottom layer here, or to the athlete layer. So what I'll do is I'll decrease saturation, decrease lightness, and from there what I'll do is bring it down just like that. Now, as you can see here, if I'm going to open up this hue and saturation again, what you'll see is if I increase the saturation and the lightness, you'll see it's just basically a replicated copy of that above layer, or the athlete layer. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and rasterize this as well, again just for ease of use. And I'll do that by merging the layers, and then I'll go ahead and I'll just add a slight blur to it and lower the opacity just a bit. Now you can also just play with this and make it, make it look however you want. A lot of times I'll go in there and I will transform or use the perspective tool to kind of give it a little bit more dynamic feel, I suppose. Alright, so now that the athlete is there, what we would probably do next is include the ball. So as you can see here, this ball is fully transparent. I'm going to kind of resize it. And yeah, that's probably good. And I am going to add the ball, or place the ball above the athlete. Now what I usually do too is if I have a shadow along with the athlete, I'll put them into a single folder, then I'll name it. That way I know what I'm working with here. Now here's the ball. You can see here it's above him now, and so kind of place it right there. Now with this ball, you can also do the same sort of thing if you wanted to, add a shadow to it. So I'll duplicate the layer, right? Now on this bottom layer, I'm going to do it a different way this time, or sort of the same way. I'm going to basically move this layer just below the ball, right there. And I'm going to add this adjustment layer again, basically creating the clipping mask, and then saturation, lightness, and a little bit of a blur to it, right there, and I'll lower the opacity just a bit. Kind of give it again that dynamic look and feel. Okay, so there's the ball. It has the shadow. Now what we'll want to do is start using some of these swooshes and spins and whatnot. So let's see. I guess let's just see what we have here at first. Pretty cool right there. And what I'll do here is I'm also going to put this into its own folder. Name it ball. All right. So this swoosh, or this right here, the spinning swooshy thingy. You can basically just change the size of it however you want. And this, I believe, would probably look best if it's just above the ball. I'm going to put it just like that. There it is. And then if you wanted to make it extra thick, you can always just duplicate the layer and it'll kind of come through a little bit brighter. Then from there, we can also add another type of swoosh that makes him look fast. Kind of put it behind his arm here. And since this layer is below him, just like that, it kind of looks like he's jumping really fast. All right, so now let's do some of the smoke. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, I like this one. This is a pretty cool one. Just go here, place it, there's no right or wrong, just wherever you see fit. I like it right there. And let's see if we have any other smoke overlays that we want to use. Yeah, it's not too bad. And then, of course, you could just stretch these out however you see fit. They're all transparent. They're really easy to move around, resize. They don't really lose quality at all. And I'll just do one more overlay, I suppose, right here. And just make sure, yeah, I think we're good there. So there you have it. That's it. That's basically how you use these backdrops and these overlays. It's super easy. It allows for a ton of creativity. And as you can see here, we did this a full picture in about 6 minutes, and actually could have taken about half that time had I moved a little bit quicker. But I hope you got something out of this. If you have any questions, I do respond. I am pretty quick to do so, so please feel free to reach out. Thank you much.